welcome back to the More Than a Network Marketer podcast. I'm not gonna lie, for some of the more recent episodes, I've kind of had like a flow and a script of talking points. But what's funny is when I started this podcast back when it was under its old name, I mostly just spoke the cusp, just kind of whatever came to mind on a certain topic. Even when I was interviewing, we never really had talking points other than maybe a couple planned questions. But I figured we would bring that back because I'm feeling really inspired this time. I thought we would just kind of riff and have fun. So one of the big topics I wanted to discuss that has been asked a slew of times is, what are the things about the paid content creation space that other people just won't tell you, but I'm willing to tell you? Because here's the thing when it comes to UGC, there's so much money to be made in this industry, but the biggest conundrum, if you will, is that most people just are not willing to admit that they're not as obsessed with the outcome that they want to have from it as they say they are or they think they are. Because one of the biggest keys to the differentiation between those that are making really good money in UGC and those that aren't is you have to be obsessed with the fact that this is your life now, that you get to be paid to make really fun and a lot of the times very simple videos for brands. And that is, I guess, I'm kind of jumping into the overall thing before we jump into some of the nitty gritty, because if you are not like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I get to do this, and if you don't approach it with that attitude, I can assure you, you are going to find yourself hitting that upper limit and it's going to be a heck of a lot lower than you need it to be. So I want you to kind of keep that in mind. Are you someone who's coming at it from, I cannot believe that this is my life and I get to do this. This is so freaking cool. How cool is it that I get to make money in a way that most people just don't understand? It's wild. It's amazing. But let me get into some of the nitty gritty, because when I share some of my results or what I'm doing, people sometimes can find a way to get discouraged by that. But here's the key, especially when we work together, I don't gatekeep things. I tell people exactly what I'm doing, the little tidbits, the nuances, all of that stuff. And I'm going to be sharing some of those with you today. And if you're like, heck yes, Kayla, I want to learn more, make sure you check the links in the show notes and in the description, depending on where you are watching / listening to this episode, so that way you can get all the goods as well to keep this momentum going. For complete transparency, I've been in UGC for about a year and 3 months, and I have done about $125,000 just in UGC specific income in that amount of time. It is an insane amount of money, and I expect that by the end of 2025, I will be at $150,000 done in my entire duration of time in UGC, which I started UGC in July of 2024. I'm sharing with you some of the things that have helped me make incredible money from this income stream. So one of the things that I recommend is I started with platform-specific UGC, aka opportunities where you're not just cold messaging brands, you're working on platforms where you are being connected with brands that are actively looking for creators for specific campaigns. I think that this is super important as a way to get started, because rather than going hunting and gathering for jobs, you're literally in one spot. It's kind of like fishing with a guaranteed bait to catch fish. You're gonna book jobs as long as you are consistently applying. And that is my big piece. My clients will hear me say this all the time, is they'll say to me, Kayla, you're booking so many things, or you have so many things, or insert this client has so many things. One of the first questions I say is, well, how many things have you applied to on your platforms? Like 10, 20, maybe 50. And I'll say, hey, right now in my pending, decision, whether they hire me or take the job off or work with someone else, I'm at about 1,500. And they're like, oh, it really is a numbers game. That is one of the biggest things. It is a numbers game. And so what I recommend doing is I check these platforms at least once a day, either in the morning when I kind of start my work day or in the evening, sometimes both. But I'm checking it at least once a day. And I apply to things, not only things that are fun, but things that I can do. Whether if it's, there's certain things I can't do. Like I can't do things with a baby. I don't have a baby, or like a baby close enough to me in my life. I don't have a dog. And for certain things like photos, my bestie helps me out and we use her dog. But let's say you don't have access to that. There's things that require a hot tub. I don't have a hot tub. I don't have easy access to a hot tub. So those are just examples, but literally anything else that I can do, I apply to it. Even if it's not fun, even if it's not sexy, even if it isn't, oh my goodness, I want that product. Because so many people apply to UGC jobs because they want a specific product. You are making probably 15%, maybe less, of the total amount of money that you could be making in UGC if you stopped being so freaking picky. And that is just so true. I'm really not picky. If I can create it and I can film it, I'll do it, because oftentimes the money is made in the not so sexy products or the the not so sexy industries. And I also welcome opportunities that allow me to push myself creatively and try new things. If I only did things that looked fun or looked sexy, I would have probably made less than $20,000 or $30,000 in the amount of time that I've done already 130. Another thing that's really huge is I do not film, edit, and submit back to back. I do things in batch format because I have ADHD and there are certain times when I just want to sit and edit and not talk or be near anyone. There's times that I am just overloaded with creativity and I just want to film. And so it's really, really great to not constantly switch off hats and make sure that you're doing specific work when you're in the right headspace for it. So I will film all the videos I need to film for a specific day and I will film them back to back to back to back. And then I will edit generally in the evening because something else that's huge is I want to maximize daylight. I don't want to waste time editing in the daylight unless there's something that maybe came up quickly and due to scheduling, I had to do it close to the deadline. But that's not super common. Aside from that, I do my voiceovers, I do my editing generally once it's already dark and I maximize my daytime light and film during the day. The next thing that is a huge tip for me is being able to manage your schedule appropriately. So many people, maybe they'll have a couple jobs pending and they'll say, which one do I feel like filming right now? Wrong answer. I use an app called Motion AI. Well, it's a website. It's not specifically an app, but it's a website. It's a platform that basically you plug in all the things that you have to do, business and personal, and it uses AI based on the length of time something takes, the priority, to schedule out my entire day. So I'll know the things that I need to film today. So rather than looking at a list and say, what do I feel like doing and wasting time mulling it over and overthinking, it gives me exactly what I need to do and I have a set schedule and I'm able to get to work. So especially as someone with ADHD, it helps me focus so much. And the software does cost money. It is an investment, but I believe it's 100% worth it because if you are neurospicy at all and you get very distracted, maybe you get sucked into doom scrolling, it is going to be an absolute game changer for you. Something else is, and this is probably one of the last big tips I'm going to leave you with because I don't want to overwhelm you, but these are the things that have truly made a difference for me. My rehire rate by brands is well over 70%, meaning most of the work that I do is work for a brand or a company or like an agency that is overseeing a said company or multiple companies. I work with the same people over and over and over again and they rehire me because here's the truth. Rather than constantly chasing new work, when you get rehired, that's more predictable, more consistent income. And that's how I'm able to make more money because I have more consistent work, whether it's a retainer and I'm doing X number of deliverables per month for a set brand, or it's brands that just keep rehiring me consistently, either weekly or a couple times a month for one-off projects, and it becomes more predictable. But I know what you're thinking, especially if you're someone that's been dabbling in UGC. How do I create those kinds of relationships? I'll give you that as we close out today. Number one, I'm always communicating. I'm updating them on when I'm submitting the content. I ask questions to clarify. I make sure that I'm communicating when I deliver a draft. I give insights about why I did certain things. I'm very upfront, direct, and transparent if a brand is asking for something outside of the current scope. And I'm a very just direct and straightforward communicator. And with that being said, yes, I communicate really well and over deliver on the maybe initial project we're working on. But at the close of the project, if I enjoyed working with them and I enjoyed the process and I feel a good vibe, if you will, as cheesy as that sounds, I reach out and I say, awesome, I'm ready for another project. What are you currently working on? Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming up. We have the holiday season. I know it's probably your busiest time. And right now is the time that you need content from a creator you know you can count on. What do you have that I can take on next? And I'm very direct. I don't just say, well, if you have anything, please let me know. No, I ask them, what do you have? Because they do have more content needs. If they came and they already worked with you, they will have future new content needs. So rather than just sitting and waiting for them to make the first move, I'm following up consistently. When it's an on platform, I make sure that I abide by the rules and I remain with them on said platform. But I'll say, hey, if I see another job that they posted and I've worked with them in the past, I'll message them on platform and I'll say, hey, I saw this other job that you just put up. I just submitted for it. I look forward to working with you. I don't say, please pick me or please choose me. I say, I'm ready to get to work. Go ahead and send me an invite to that and let's do this. Being direct is good. They want someone who's predictable, who's confident that they can do good work and that from their experience they've seen has done good work. I think more times than not, for sure, I get what I ask for because I'm not asking per se. I'm being very direct and I'm assuming the yes. And that is where I get most of my consistent work from. So what do you kind of say is the overarching theme with all of these things in today's episode? Is I am relentless because I love doing this work. It's fun, it's creative, I enjoy it, but I also love making money and I don't apologize for it. As creators, we have something that they want and they need. And you can either be the one that's right in front of their face so they see you, or you can be the one that's hiding back against the wall waiting for them to mosey over to you. Well, I can tell you, when you're just sitting back waiting for that invite, it's never coming, my friend. You need to be the one that's going out and getting what you want, especially if you want to make incredible money in UGC. And I know you're someone that's like, I want a game plan. I need more help. I want to feel really confident in this strategy. Go to the link in the show notes for the multiple ways to work with me, because the people that work with me closely are the ones that you see making incredible money in this space, especially if you are over 40, over 50, over 60. The market right now is insane for creators over 40. I'm not even kidding. I swear, when I show you the amount of money that some of my clients are making in insanely part-time hours, a fraction of the hours I work, it would blow your mind. But I can't wait to show you and teach you the processes that they're following. Link is in the show notes. My program, The Second Job Alternative, for those that want to supplement other income streams or a full-time job. Whether you're a beginner or not, you want to know the process geared specifically towards those who want supplemental income. It's an asynchronous program and it's updated frequently, so you have the most current best of the best. It's the best place to start, and honestly, I would do it before the price goes up, which is going to be coming up here next month. So I would click, take advantage, get it before the price goes up. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I will see you in the next episode.